Hello everyone and welcome to another UNO Tech Byte. This time we will be showing a confirmation dialog to the user. So grab your coffee and let's get started on it. So I have my simple application already prepared here. It's a blank UNO app. It just contains one button which says show a dialog, and it should show a dialog, of course. So I connected a code behind method on click to the button. So in this place, we should somehow show a dialog to the user. Maybe it could be a confirmation dialog, something like, do you want to save your changes? Or something like information dialog that will just say to the user that something interesting happened in your application. For example, that network connectivity was lost, which was something we discussed in other UNO Tech Byte. So let me first write a dialog, which is a class called Content Dialog. It's exactly what the compiler is suggesting here. So I will just use that suggestion. The dialog has something that's called a title, which is the heading of the dialog. So here it can say something hello, and then a content, which is something that the dialog should contain as the main content. And it can be a text, it can be some more complex content like an image or some set of elements or a grid that contains some maybe checkboxes or something like that. I will just use a text here. So I'm a dialog. And then you can define some buttons. And the compiler suggested here a close button, which is something of a default, but you can also provide a primary button. So I can say something like yes here. And you can also provide a secondary button if you want. So you can have up to 3 buttons displayed on the dialog. So a common thing would be a confirmation dialog with yes, no, and cancel. So that would be something like this. Now, very important thing, because Windows applications and UNO platform applications can potentially run in multiple different windows, you need to make sure that you tell the dialog which window it should be associated with. And you can do this by doing XAML root equals, and now setting the XAML root property of the content dialog to a XAML root of an element. And that can be, for example, the page we are currently on. So I can do this XAML root, or even shorter, I can just say XAML root equals XAML root, because this will be exactly the same as this .xaml root. So now the dialog knows where it should be displayed. So now finally, we need to display the dialog, and we can do it by calling await dialog.showAsync. And as you can see, it's an awaitable method, the showAsync. So we need to also make the method itself async. So now when we click the button, the dialog will be displayed. And of course, when you want to display a dialog, we also want to know what the user has chosen as the button, or what did they click on. So we want to do is, we can say var result equals await dialog.showAsync, which will give us the result of the confirmation dialog, and we can then check something like this. So if the result was the primary button, we can do something. So that would be the yes button. We could save the file. Secondary button is for us the no button. So we could, for example, throw away the changes. And the cancel button is the close button. So that's the last else of this if statement. So we can, for example, just stay on the page and do nothing. So let me start the application, and we should see that dialog now in action on WebAssembly. So let me bring that window here. So that application is just a simple button, as I said. And now if I click it, we now see the content dialog, which has I'm a dialog and has 3 buttons. And you can pick from yes, no, or cancel to tell the operation that the dialog should perform. So if I click the button, dialog is closed, and now the execution would get here, and you could, for example, save the file or something like that. So this was a very simple walkthrough on how to use content dialogues in Uno platform applications. I hope you liked it and hope you will be able to use now dialogues in your own applications to tell the user and let the user confirm some operations in your apps. So thank you for joining. Please subscribe to our channel if you want to get notified about future videos, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.